for some reason we keep doing this to ourselves, where we somehow keep getting these people in this place where they feel entitled that they should get our vote, the black vote. And it's crazy that for some reason we still cave in to allow a person like Joe Biden, who has never changed. He's been in the same position for the past 50 years as he's always been in this spot. And for some reason, there's people online on Twitter, in your threads, that have said the same thing, that said, well, Joe Biden is less racist than Donald Trump. Well, he shouldn't be racist at all, but the thing that drives me absolutely crazy is, Charlemagne the God is saying, hey, we've got to press him on these issues because, we want something back. And you said this a few weeks ago about the P. Diddy piece, where it's like, hey, yeah, we want something to come back for the African-American community. Hey, man, I want something back too. Absolutely. We all do. But at the same time, isn't that not the point of the primary, is to make sure that these guys are going to say the things that they are going to do to help out the African-American community? Why are they looking at, why are we looking at it now? Why are we looking at it now when we should have been looking at it 6 months ago before it was time to go back and vote? We had Marianne Williamson saying that she wanted to do reparations for African Americans. Same thing with, I don't know, who was the billionaire? Tom Steyer. Either way, they were people that were out there saying that they wanted to do things for the black community. And yet no one went out, like you said before. No one went out to support them. But hey, Joe, I know Joe. I know Joe completely. And because I know Joe, and Joe knows us, right? Joe knows us. And so therefore we have to give him our vote. But the reality is, Joe wasn't saying he was going to do anything for the black community. He wasn't saying he was going to do anything for any particular community other than the people that he already knows, which is his rich white donors that are giving him billions of dollars. So what is his plan? I don't know what his platform is. Do you know what his platform is? I don't think anyone knows what his platform is, other than Trump bad.
I just want to say, it's just highly ironic that we've been talking about this leading up to this for the past few weeks. We've been talking about addressing the African American community and not taking, letting these politicians take our vote for granted. And it's just so ironic that this is just on full display. I'm loving it. I'm loving it because it's going to force black people to make a choice. It's going to force black people to make a choice if they're going to sit back and they're going to say, well, we're going to still vote for this racist over this racist. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. I don't get how you can sit up here as a prideful person, because we as black people are prideful people, regardless as to what anybody thinks or what anybody says. We take pride in who we are as a people. Right. And are we going to sit here and we're going to allow this old ass, dementia having ass punk us like this? That's going to be the question. That's going to be the question. That's the question I have. You know what I'm saying? I already told you I made my choice. I'm voting third party. I don't give a damn what black person come up to me and say, oh, you're not black because if you don't vote for Joe Biden. And I think that's where Joe Biden gets this sentiment from, because a lot of black people say this to each other. Like when there was this big divide between Sanders and Joe Biden during the primary, people would look at me, because I actually went out here and I canvassed and tried to get black people, get off the Joe Biden's nuts and get on over here and get some of the shit that you want. At least this person is trying to get universal programs that's going to help everybody pass. Nobody in America is going to pass policies that are specific for black people, at least not right now in this day and age. It's not going to happen. I don't believe it. I believe in the universality of Bernie Sanders' policies, because I felt like black people are automatically going to benefit, and there's going to be no limits put on it, and it's going to be in such a way where black people can progress. Because regardless as to what people think about black people being overtly violent or anything like that, most black people is go-getters. We hustlers. We make shit happen. You know what I'm saying? I am in a profession that is dominated by men. There are not women here, particularly black women here. And I make these men respect me, because I am a hardworking individual. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These men give me my props day after day. This is the story of black people that is not told on the media. We're looked at as whatever, images they want to place to keep us divided. I am so happy. I've been seeing on Twitter that black Republicans and black conservatives has actually sidestepped and stepped out of that box and tried to talk to black progressives this week. I don't know if you have been seeing that, but I just thought, yes, finally, there's some cooperation going on within the black community as a whole. Because if black people come together and we sidestep the Democratic Party, the damage that we do is going to be, it's going to be irreversible. And I promise y'all, in 2024, it's going to be a whole new looking Democratic Party. We got to decide if we're going to let them punk us, if we're going to let them treat us this way. Because that's exactly what's been happening. Their only argument this far has been, we're not Trump. We're not the Republicans. They made it seem like Donald Trump's presidency was going to be the end-all, be-all, that we wasn't going to make any progress during Donald Trump's era. Honestly, most black people I talked to, they said they've been doing just goddamn fine. So why not continue to make the Democratic Party feel the pain of not having us, of not being able to take us for granted? Because that's the only way we're going to get anything that we want passed.
I'm becoming increasingly convinced, Tim, that America ain't even a real country anymore, but a satire of a country that other countries watch to, feel better about themselves. The presidential race is between the angry orange man versus Grandpa got lost in the mall again. Joe Biden is Bob Dole with the public speaking ability of George Bush from 2008 and the dementia-addled brain of Ronald Reagan from 1990. He is the worst fucking presidential candidate I've ever seen in my life, Tim. Can I just say that? I thought Kerry was bad, agreeing with George Bush on the Iraq War. I thought Bob Dole was bad, speaking in third person and being just a dolt, right? I have never heard a presidential candidate tell so many people not to vote for him in my life. Other than Joe Biden, I have never heard any presidential candidate ever say that. I have never seen it. I've never seen any presidential candidate insult as many potential voters as he does, calling 21-year-old economic students lying dog-faced pony soldiers. If Bernie Sanders had called a young woman a lying dog-faced pony soldier, he'd have to leave the country, Tim. He'd have to start a worldwide apology tour, and he'd have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he's not a secret sexist Nazi. The media would be so far up his ass, he'd never be able to go anywhere without someone asking him, "Are you a secret sexist?" And the media is just giving Joe Biden a fucking pass, Johnson. There are so many instances where someone will ask Joe Biden a question, and he'll snap, and he'll go, well, vote for the other guy. Or he calls them goddamn liars. Like, hey, fat, don't vote for me, want to do push-ups? He told an immigrant rights activist who feared for his family being deported to vote for Donald Trump. Tim, this is the guy they said was more electable than Bernie Sanders. He's never won anything in his life, and he's the guy we're going with. I am so sick of this guy, man. And then he has the audacity to consider the Wicked Witch of the Midwest, Amy Klobuchar, for vice president. Why not Corn Pop? I would think Corn Pop would be a better conciliatory gesture to black people. But no, instead he's fucking around with Keegan-Michael Key like this isn't a presidential race. Like this, RBG ain't got 4 more years, Joe. Like this is a serious race. Like there are stakes involved here. And he's on vacation. Where's Joe? Does anyone know where Joe is? Like this is the nominee going up against Mr. $300 billion to Saudi Arabia, Mr. Heavyweight Undefeated Drone Strike Champion, Mr. Giveaway $3 trillion to Wall Street every couple months, Donald Trump. Tim, we've got a serious problem here. Like, you know who's enjoying this? You know who's really enjoying this presidential election? It's Lockheed. It's Raytheon. It's Aetna. It's Exxon. That's who's enjoying this, Tim. Like, imagine watching the Super Bowl, and whoever wins, you get $1 million. That's what's going on here with the corporations and Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. It's the Super Bowl, and whoever wins, you get $1 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is such a broken system. It's unreal. Tim.
So before I turn this into Black Power Hour, I've got a PSA for Simone Sanders, bald-headed, black as an ace of spades linebacker ass, Stacey Abrams, who face-planted completely, all them big old cheeks of hers, she ought to have been able to hold herself up, and Jamel Hill should go on and hang out with some of those misfit black girls over there in Joe Biden's backyard picking cotton. Now that we've got that out of the way. And a PS, and any other coon, sellout, Uncle Tom, Oreo cookies, and wannabes that don't know what's what, we're going to set them straight tonight. So, let me talk about my blackness. Let me talk about how I use cocoa butter in the morning. Let me talk about my round nose. Let me talk about my nappy hair. Let me tell you something, Joe Biden. You couldn't hold a candle to half of anybody who you claim that you have put on these pedestals. You lie about getting arrested in South Africa. You lie about being, matter of fact, let's bring up the fact that you can't even be in the same camp as the white men from Scranton that you constantly like to tout. So let's start there too. You are not a man of the people, no such way, form. On top of that, you're a sexual assaulting piece of shit. Everybody knows it, and they still coming out here protecting your ass. You got Tim Scott, who I can't stand, from South Carolina, and him and, oh, don't get me started on McClyburn. Look here. He out here telling the truth. Now, I couldn't knock him for that. He was out there telling it like it is, and rightfully so. Who the hell does Joe Biden think he is? And for Charlemagne, really, too, not to really kind of clock him right then and there. I haven't watched the entire interview, but I'm going to, and I saw enough. And everywhere I turn and see, I've seen enough to know what my ears heard. And you know what? I am just sick to death of them doing every single thing possible to try to wipe the scum off of this piece of garbage.
Brother, the congregation is speaking tonight, right? Can you feel the energy?
Yes, sir.
Can you feel the vibes coming through? Like, who the fuck is Joe Biden to tell us that we not black, man? Like,
60 seconds.
Who stayed at the party way too long and got too comfortable and got co-signed by, like, you know, his homeboy Barack and, you know, John Lewis and Clyburn. But, you know, you got some other brothers standing in the corner like, we don't know this guy like that. He can't talk to me like that. You know what I mean? That's really what today is, where we planting our flag.
Yep.
No, we not rocking with Joe Biden. And Jamel Hill and all the rest of these people, some of them conservative people trying to, you know, play us like, oh, we, you know, just finna go mess with Donald Trump. We not going for that neither. Nah. Mm-hmm. This is why I love this show, man. Like, Freedom Fridays is where we really get to, like, you know, bust our gun and, like you said, talk the truth, because you're not going to hear it on CNN. You're not going to hear it on MSNBC. But, no, you can't hear it on the Tim Black Show, man. So
10 seconds.
People onto your show, you know what I mean?
No doubt, man. Thank you, Jimmy, man.
You see what's going on and what happened to Stacey Abrams, where it's kind of like I bring you through the well and I embarrass you to where, like, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, stay in your place. You were being, you know, you were trying to get that VP a little too hard. Let me settle you down a little bit. And it's kind of the same thing that I see with the whole black vote, where it's like, okay, I say what I want. I know y'all ain't got nothing to, you know what I mean, nothing to say. I'm gonna say what it is. And he said the quiet part out loud, to where it's like Jesse Jackson said this to us, and people miss this because of the media. He said Joe Biden was the right side of Barack Obama's ticket. So he let people know, you know, the people know, hey, this is a black guy, but he stays in his place. He knows I signed the crime bill. I did all of these policies. I was cool with segregationists to where it kind of balanced it out. Like, oh, okay, maybe he's cool or whatever. But that's the problem, to where you got a guy where people don't really know what his actual record is, and you tie it in with the Tara Reid, and this is my main point. You get down to, it's the media. The Tara Reid, it was only good to talk about after Bernie was knocked out of the race. That's whenever, okay, we can talk about Tara Reid and all of this, his misconduct with women. Oh, now that Bernie's out the race, oh, we can get on Joe Biden where, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at his record with black folks. Oh, now, oh, man, it's such a surprise. Biden can't hold a sentence, and he's just going to talk bad about black folks out in the public like that? Well, duh, Johnson. Like, this dude, you knew this before today. So it's crazy to me to where that's why I say Donald Trump is the actual Manchurian candidate because he normalized corruption. And when you normalize corruption in a society to where all these other countries, they knew their leaders were, maybe they do a little bit for us, but they still kind of corrupt to where the facade in America was always, oh, well, this is a shiny city on the hill. They do this. And obviously, people who in it, they know it. But he is so blatant with it, he exposed it to the society to where you have that normalization going on. I like everybody to think back to whenever Donald Trump running for president. That was a laughable thing. You fast forward, you 3 years into this, bro. Yep. And you have so much normalization that's happened to where the Democratic Party, it was, we have to stop Bernie at all costs. I know the threat that Donald Trump is, but when you got somebody like Joe Biden from the old school, he like, okay, I'm gonna show these niggas, like I'm gonna show these guys where I can say what I want. And y'all really ain't got no choice. You feel what I mean? Right. And that's where it's so offensive to where I understand who and what Donald Trump is, but if you're gonna do that, it's like, man, I'm in Louisiana. I'm gonna vote for who I'm gonna vote for anyway. If I was in a swing state, it would be different. You feel what I mean? But at the same time, I don't know how you can ask for people to vote for you whenever you're just doing this out in the open and blatant with it. To where it's like, man, like it's a tough situation, man, because I know the danger that Donald Trump is, and you give him a second term. Think about Obama. Obama was letting people out, and that was at the end of his second term. To where, okay, I know I'm a black guy, but I can do some stuff where I'll let nonviolent drug offenders out a little bit. Where, man, think about Donald Trump at the end of his second term. To where it's a tough situation, bro. But Biden he's so crazy in the mind to where, like he's to that point, and Donald Trump is there too, but he just plays it off way better than Joe Biden. Joe Biden will get to stuttering, he gets to talking about this that's not true and that, to where he can't play it off. But it was all, we have to stop the actual progressive in the primary. After we do that, now we can get to our horse race. Now we can get to, Joe Biden did do this in the 60s and Donald Trump did it. Now who's worse? No. What about in the primary? What about in the primary when we had this guy who was doing stuff with the civil rights movement, but you painted him as it's just all white Bernie bros and this and that. Man, we talk every day, and that's why I'm thankful for your show, bro, because like black people actually do, and Nina Turner, to where black folks actually know what it is. But if you turn on CNN, turn on MSNBC, that's not really what you're going to get.
Okay, well, let me start out by saying we do have a terrible choice this time around. And I'm not going to tell anyone how to vote, but I think everybody should make them earn their vote. Make them answer your questions. I'm just as frustrated as you, Tim, and angry. Why do I have to pick between two mentally challenged idiots? Because this is for the presidency of the United States. And neither of them give a heck about me, an old lady, or my young friends. We're not the millionaires on mainstream media pushing propaganda for their billionaire bosses. And the billionaires, hey, they're still making the most money even during the virus. We're not important. But can I point out something else that's going to happen after this virus? Many of those jobs won't come back. They're gone. All these people working from home, hey, you're lucky, because many of us can't do that. But you better look outside the picture frame. You probably won't be going back to work at your office. See, they're switching the costs back on you. They're going to let you work at your home. They're going to let you be independent contractors. And there you will be carrying all the costs. Your rent, your house payment. Yeah, you're going to pay for the utilities. You're going to pay for your internet. You're going to have to keep up the upkeep and the insurance and on and on. You know all those costs, don't you, Tim?
I do.
Because you work out of the home, right?
Yep.
Anyway, the CEOs, they're still going to draw the big salaries. But you probably won't get anything for assuming all the cost of operations, let alone the jobs lost, like the janitors and the security guards that used to protect and clean those offices. You see, I worked 25 years in the trucking industry, and I saw them do it there. They made their drivers go to independent drivers. They switched all the costs to them. They had to buy the trucks. They had to keep them up. They had to pay for the insurance. Oh, the transportation companies, they still made their fees, but the drivers carried the cost. They got around the union that way, the Teamsters, and the drivers lost all those benefits. Same with Uber drivers. The taxi companies were regulated and paid taxes for those medallions. Also had to report the driver's logs, and certain drivers had to meet certain specifications. They switched all the costs to the employee and also eliminated other jobs. And when you don't go to an office anymore, you don't need parking attendants. And who has those jobs? Who works those kind of jobs, Tim? And they're going to leave those buildings empty. You see, because that's a tax write-off. No, they're not going to house the homeless in them. No way. And maybe that isn't important to others, but it sure is to many. Of course, there'll still be jobs working at Amazon, but when they pay less on other jobs, they'll pay less and less on others. Oh, but they'll track you. They'll monitor you. You owe them, not the other way around, according to them. We have shown them that we're essential during this virus, but they're not going to let that stand. So people have to look outside the frame. They think they've got us painted in. Capitalism is not going to be affected until we, the workers, take the stand. Trust me, your tax write-offs will never be like theirs. We have no real choice now, but we have to work to change that. Please vote and vote down ballot. Focus. We have the numbers if we use them. From the bottom up, our roots will take control of the ground, and our true tree will give us oxygen and strength. And as Bernie has told us, the struggle continues. We can do this. We have to do this. Thank you, Tim, for letting me have a say, and thank you even more for yours.
Shantez, bro.
There he is. What's up, Shantez, man?
Yo, Tim, Carol, I'm telling you, Mitch, all y'all, Tanya. Yo, can I pour a little gas on this flame tonight?
Please, brother, please.
That's all I want to do. All right, so check this out, man. I got a quick question. Jim Clyburn, Whoopi Goldberg, Joanne Reed, all y'all, where y'all at now, man? The dude that y'all done propped up saying all this stupid stuff, where y'all at now? Y'all sit up here, I know Joe, he's a good man. He's all this, he's all that. As soon as he said something stupid, you ain't nowhere to be found. Where you at, man? You what? You hide. You ain't got nothing to say. You know what's funny, Tim? I know more about what Joe Biden his policies that he don't like than the policies that he believes in, man. And during the debates, all he was talking about was buying in. Buying what? Okay, yeah, I'm just saying, man, he gonna sit up here and say, I won every county in South Carolina. The NAACP gave me an award. So you feel that since they gave you an award, you can say and do whatever you want to do? Because we ain't got no choice. Now, see, here's the problem with you, Joe Biden. Let me tell you something. And I know he probably ain't listening. We ain't got to do nothing for you. We don't owe you nothing because of NAACP. NAACP can give you 5 awards. That don't mean you know what the black experience is going through. We struggle every day, not just struggling to pay bills and put food on the table, but black and brown people go through shit all the time. You ain't never had to go through nothing. But you know what he thinks, Tim? He thinks, Strom Thurmond, crime bill, Tara Reid, anti-busing, I still won the primary. So he can give a shit about anything now. Because he still got through. He still got through. And Charlemagne the God, why are you just now asking him about what he going to do for the black folks? Like Sanchez said earlier, where was them questions before the primary was over with? You going to wait till the last minute and going to ask him this shit now? It don't even matter now. He can sit up there and say, I ain't got to do shit for y'all. What you going to do? Vote for me or vote for Trump? Hell nah. Yo, Tim, at the end of the day, I ain't selling my soul. I'm with you, brother. I'm going to support you. I'm going to support all these people that's pushing the real truth out there. Because these people right now, they don't give a damn about what we going through.
Well, when I heard the comments that Joe Biden made on the Breakfast Club, the first thing that hit me was the amount of arrogance of both his handlers and himself for him to come out of the basement and then to go on a show, in effect, preening himself for his appeal to people of color, and then to, in effect, say, oh, I know what you guys need, you don't. That is exactly what most of the Democrats say to all of us, that we should vote exactly as they point us to vote, because otherwise we're endangering people who are marginalized. You know, I get the point that people say to me, because I'm a person of whiteness and of a certain amount of comfort, that, I'm selling out my brothers and sisters that are more marginalized. And I think if you could show me anything you've done over the last 50 years for my marginalized brothers and sisters, I'd buy that argument, but I don't. So I thank you for bringing it up. I also, I feel like they're asking us to vote for someone who's only marginally better than someone else. I'm talking about Trump versus Biden. I think I'll just vote for someone marginally better than either one of those people, and I'll feel okay about it. Otherwise, I'm going to fight for what I believe in, which is the rights of my fellow human beings here in this country of ours for as long as I can, and for my family. Anyway, love you, Tim. Thank you for hearing us out.
Everyone was focusing on, but as a couple of callers did point out, and yourself, you did point out, that the whole 18-minute interview, you should take the time to check it out, because the statement about trying to dictate blackness at the end was, of course, vile and disgusting, but the whole pandering to our community through mentioning Martin Luther King just randomly and talking about corn pop and being at the swimming pool when he was a young man and being a public defender. These aren't things that really show that he's done so many overwhelming things for the black community, in addition to his defense of the crime bill. And honestly, throughout the whole interview, the only thing he really talked about, that he said, when I am president, this is what I will do for the black community, was talking about increasing the pay for public defenders, to raise it to the pay of federal prosecutors. So basically he's only really looking at blackness through the eyes of poverty and crime. And I think that was, if you watch the whole entire interview in its entirety, you'll really get to see the wool pulled off about who Joe Biden really is. And as many of your callers have talked about, the arrogance and the audacity. So we should really grapple with that and think about, do you really want this person to not just represent African Americans? This is the whole country at large.
I always say, and if we've said it once, we've said it 1,000 times, you can lie to lie to the outside world all you want. Just do not lie to yourself. And the problem becomes is that when you start to believe your own bullshit, that's when you get caught up, and that's when you get burned. Because let's face it, there ain't anybody on the inside. And see, at least me and my community, we've understood that. The people I've been around. I mean, okay, they'll let you in, they'll let you do this and that, but again, it's the nuance. Well, okay, they let you in the building, but where do they have you sit? Well, okay, you're at the table, but where are you at the table? Well, all right, they let you at the table, but did they let you sit where they went? It's progressing on and on and on, because you find out that the only people they care about is themselves. And they will sell their own mama for, if they can get them power, if they can get them money, if they can get them, they have no scruples. If you're not them personally, just keep that in mind. So no, like with Joe, oh Lord, again, we got to remember what Cornel West said. Just don't lie about who he is. But the thing that I think people really need to wake up to is that this is the game, people. Like voting did not get us in this situation. See, that's the thing that people get twisted and get wrong. Inaction got us here. Complacency got us here. Complacency comes with a very, very high price tag, and the bills come due. I mean, it's like it's like if you have a guy on the team that never gets the hook. He keeps playing, and he sucks, and he keeps getting his ass kicked, but he keeps playing the game. He starts. What motivation does he have to get better if you never get the hook? If you never get, your feet to the fire, if people don't show up and say, hey, get him the hell out of the get him out of the game. That's what we're seeing right now. And I mean, look, we got to start saying, hey, what's in our best interest? What is in our best interest? And we need to start looking through all the games, because see, that is a game. It's meant to trigger us. It's meant to, we'll, amongst ourselves, for about a day or two, and then let's get back to work. Let's get back to business. It's a game.
We people who are working class people, who are brown and black people, have to stop being complicit in our own demise. America is a country that is never going to give us anything. That has been proven from the beginning of this country. It continues to this day.
Okay,
and
Janae,
we have to not be complicit.
Janae, how will we not? How do we avoid being a tool in our own demise? How do we do that?
Well, we, because we have to make some sacrifices. The Montgomery boycott, bus boycott didn't just, happen in a vacuum. Those people sacrificed. They walk to work. They, carpool to work. We have to sacrifice. The gods in this country are money. It's corporations. So we have to stop buying their products. We have to stop going on Amazon every day. We have to stop buying games and all of these kinds of electronics and things like that. It is a sacrifice, because those are things that, give us something, give us some entertainment. But the sacrifice has to be made, because the only language that they speak is money. Money is the only thing that's going to make them do anything. When those buses weren't making money off of our people, the Supreme Court stepped in.
Well, it's pretty damn good show, wasn't it, y'all? It's pretty good show, wasn't it? We have people that when you listen to this show and you take time out on a Friday night and you invest some time with us, you're going to feel something, because we got callers from all over the country calling in, sometimes even outside the country, calling in, speaking truth to power. We put together a platform where people can talk and speak and move others towards action, and it can change your outlook. We can change how people think. We can change what people do. We change what people do, we can change this country. That's what I believe, man. That's why I do it. I don't do it just to do it. I actually believe we can have an impact. So thank you all so much for being a part of this.